Hey, what is going on, guys? Coming at you with a Magic the Gathering video. Now, don't worry, I'm not quitting New Year or anything like that. I'm not going to be, solely focused on Magic now. I literally, just picked up a deck the other day at my local card shop. I believe it was under 30 bucks, around a $25 range. And I had a bunch of, Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I didn't really need anymore that weren't really going to be moved in trades or anything that helped me to get this. So, it's kind of why I decided to pick this up. It's a mono red deck. It is legal for standard. Basically, the whole deck focuses around using a bunch of low-cost, mana creatures and spells and things like that are just really, really powerful and efficient considering the low cost they have. So I mean, it is part inflicting damage to the opponent, and part of it also is aggressive beatdown as well, with summoning a bunch of creatures as well that can really get beefy really quickly. And I will say the biggest reason I kind of wanted to try out Magic the Gathering, it's not that Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten stale for me. Believe me, I still really love the game, but I just really like the idea with Magic how you really have to manage your resources a lot more carefully, and how the games a lot of times can go on a bit longer because you're having to build up those resources and having to basically just strategize so much more for future turns compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, where you can just spam out everything all in one turn a lot of times. So I figured I'd just show this to you guys since I feel like I have a good build. My friend from my locals, Tyler, actually helped me build this. One of the guys at his locals actually wins with this build all the time, so I figured I'd show this to you guys. Definitely feel free to, if you are a Magic player, to give me any suggestions you guys may have as far as how I can improve the build. And with me being a beginner Magic player, I also wouldn't mind any tips you guys could leave in the comment section below about just how to play this deck and just how to become good at Magic. So. Starting off with the creatures, we have the 4 Acroian Crusader. I do apologize in advance if I do butcher the names. This is one of the 1 mana cost creatures. He's a 1/1, and then whenever he's targeted for any kind of spell, he summons a 1/1 red creature token with haste onto the battlefield. So basically, you're just generating more and more tokens. The more you target him, or the more your opponent targets him, you can just battle with right away. So that's why Acroian Crusader is good. Then we have the 4 Monastery Swiss Spear, another 1 mana cost creature, 1/2. It has haste. Let's see here. Yeah, it has haste. And then it has the ability Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 till the end of the turn. So with all the 1 mana cost spells that you'll see later in the deck profile, this Monastery Swiss Spear can just get really, really big in one turn, with how many of those you can cast in one turn. Then for our other 4 of creature, we have the 4 Cider Hoplite. Again, I'm probably butchering these names. So another 1 mana creature, and whenever a spell that you cast targets this creature, gets a +1/+1 counter, and that's not till the end of the turn, that's permanently. So this creature can get really, really big, really, really fast. Then for our legendary creature, we have the 2 Zergo Bellstriker. This one's, again, a 1 mana cost. Starts out 2/2, which is actually pretty big for a 1 mana creature. Only downside to him is that he can't block creatures with 2 or more powers, so you're not really using him as a blocker, you're using him more offensively, which is really what this deck wants to do anyway. And it does have the dash ability where you can pay 1 red and 1 other mana, and you can cast a spell for its dash cost, and if you do, it gains haste, and then it returns from the battlefield to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So just basically, you summon it, you pay that cost to give it haste, and then it just returns at the end of your opponent's next turn to where you can just do it all over again on the next turn if you want to. Then for 1 of creatures, we have the 1 Arena Athlete. Kind of reminds me of Ultra Athletes, actually. So it has the heroic ability. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Arena Athletes, target creatures cannot block for that turn. So it's just really good if you want to go offensively and your opponent builds up a lot of blockers and you just want to get past those. So that's why Arena Athlete is good. It's a 2/1. And then we have the 1 Lightning Berserker. This one gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn if you pay a 1 mana cost with its ability. And it also has dash ability, the same as Zergo Bellstriker. Well, its dash ability actually only costs 1 red mana, so it's a little bit more efficient. But it is 1 mana and is a 1/1 creature. So that's it for the creatures, total of 16. Now on to the spells. Starting off for enchantments, we have the 4 Dragon's Mantle. Another one of those 1 mana cost cards in the deck. So it's enchantment, as I said. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, so it's just an instant +1 right there. An enchanted creature has the ability of you can pay 1 mana, 1 red mana, and then the creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. So it's just a nice booster, and again, just getting you that draw power right away is really, really nice as well. Then for our other enchantment, we have the 4 Hammerhead. So with Hammerhead, when it enters the battlefield, the target creature cannot block this turn. So what's neat with that is if you're enchanting your own creature, you don't really care about the fact that it can't block this turn, considering it's on your turn and you're looking to attack anyway and tap it anyway. But if you use it on your opponent's turn, or not on your opponent's turn, but use it on an opponent's creature, you can actually use it to basically keep the creature from blocking, so you can attack past them. So that's what's kind of neat about Hammerhead. Then the enchanted creature does gain +1/+1 and has haste, to where it can attack and tap the same turn it was summoned. So Hammerhead's just really good for those creatures you summon right away, giving them that boost and then giving them haste as well. Then for some instants, we have the 4 Lightning Strike. So I believe this is the first of the cards that I'm showing you guys that actually cost more than 1 mana. There's a few of these in here, but for the most part they're all pretty low cost. So Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and it is an instant, so you can play it on either player's turn. So being able to have that option of either just, doing 3 damage to a creature, usually destroying it in most cases, or doing it to the player to try to get that extra damage per game is just really, really nice. Then probably the MVP of the spells is the 4 Stoke the Flames. This has the most cost out of any of your cards in the deck. It's 4 mana cost, 2 red, and 2 other mana, but it does have the ability of Convoke, to where your creatures can actually help cast a spell. They can either pay the regular mana cost, or they can pay the red mana cost as well. So you can basically just cast this for free if you build up a bunch of creatures on board. It is an instant, so you can use it on your opponent's turn. And then Stoke the Flames deals 4 damage to a target creature or player. So basically just a better version of Lightning Strike that costs more, but again, you can kind of alleviate that cost with its Convoke ability. Then we have, let's see here, the 4 Titan Strength. Titan Strength, again, 1 mana cost. Target creature gets +3/+1 until the end of turn, which already on its own definitely makes it really efficient for that 1 mana cost. But also the fact that you get to scry 1, look at your top card, and then put it back on the top or bottom is really, really nice. You can use this on your opponent's turn to protect your creature and then set up your draw for next turn, or you can use it, of course, on your turn and just get in more damage when you're attacking. Then we have the 3 Coordinated Assaults. So a Coordinated Assault, up to 2 target creatures, each get +1/+0 and gain first strike until the end of turn. First strike basically is if your creature attacks and your opponent decides to block that creature with one of theirs, your creature inflicts damage to them first, to where if your creature would actually destroy their creature when it's dealing damage, your creature would not take any damage. So that is a nice thing about first strike. Then just being able to give 2 creatures a +1 is really, really nice for, again, a 1 mana cost. Then we have the 2 Rouse the Mob. So Rouse the Mob is 1 mana cost, but with its Strive ability, you can actually pay 3 more mana, 2 standard mana, and 1 red mana more to cast for each target creature beyond the first. Then any number of target creatures each gain +2/+0 and gain Trample until the end of the turn. With Trample, of course, it's basically like Piercing in Yu-Gi-Oh! To where if your creature attacks and the opponent's creature tries to block, if your power is greater than their toughness, then the opponent will take damage equal to that difference. So just really good, and it is an instant, so you can use it when they're trying to block and just kind of take advantage of that. So Rouse the Mob is really good, and if you want to give any more of your creatures that +2 ability, then of course you can pay the extra mana cost. Then for the last spell, this one's a sorcery. We have the 1 Blinding Flare. This card is very, very powerful. For 1 mana, it has a Strive ability to where you can pay 1 more red mana more to cast for each target creature beyond the first. So basically, if you want to target more creatures, you just have to pay 1 more mana. And then any number of target creatures cannot block this turn. So again, if you're just looking to push past blockers and get that damage, potentially for game, Blinding Flare is just really, really good to make sure that you can get past those creatures for that damage. So that was 26 spells, and then for lands, we just have 18 basics here. It's all 18 red mountain lands. The reason you play basics and don't play any fetch lands in here is because with all of your low cost cards in the deck, you want to have land that comes onto the field untapped so you can instantly use them that turn. So that is why you play the basic lands and don't play any of the fetch lands. So now, really quickly, I'll show you guys what I kind of have put together for a side deck. Keep in mind my card pool right now, since I am just starting with the game, is a bit limited. But these are cards that I think are decent for a side deck, and also could be cards you could consider teching in the main deck if you want to make your own mono red deck build a bit different. So starting off, we have the 4 Fiery Impulse, another 1 mana cost, which is always nice, and it is an instant. And it deals 2 damage to target creature, and with Spell Mastery, with that ability, if you have 2 or more instants and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it deals 3 damage instead. So it can be really powerful against those decks that like to summon small creatures and just beat you with them. It can really punish them for that by just getting rid of that creature, so that's why Fiery Impulse is good. Then we have the free Act of Treason. Costs 1 red and 2 other mana, and then you can just gain control of an opponent's target creature until the end of the turn, and it does gain haste. So if your opponent summons a huge creature, you can just punish them for that, take it from them, basically take away a blocker from them as well, and just go in on them for that attack. Then we have the free Smash the Smithereens, really good against artifact-based decks. Destroys target artifact for 1 red and 1 other mana. And Smash Smithereens also deals 3 damage to the artifact's controller, so just being able to destroy that and inflict 3 damage is really, really powerful, but only against those decks that like to use a lot of artifacts. Then we have the 2 Chandra's Fury. This, so far, out of all of the cards I have, is probably my favorite because of the artwork and also because of the effect. The artwork just looks really, really good, if I can get a quick zoom in there. So with Chandra's Fury, deals 4 damage to target player and 1 damage to each creature that player can controls. It is a very high cost with 1 red and 4 other mana, but it's really good again against those decks that just like to summon a bunch of 1/1 tokens. You can really just punish them by getting rid of all those tokens and also dealing 4 damage to them as well, which is really nice. Then speaking of Chandra, we have the 1 Chandra's Ignition. This one costs 2 red and then 3 other mana. And then target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. So this actually is really good if you're going in like a tag match or anything like that, to where like it would deal damage to both opponents. And then again, just if you really build up a big creature, you can kind of use this to just basically like wipe out their entire board and then deal damage to them as well, equal to that power. So even though you may not be able to get in as much damage attacking wise that turn, you can basically just deal damage equal to that creature's power anyway. So that's really nice. Then we have the 1 Ravaging Blaze. This one costs 2 red and then any number of other mana that you choose. And then Ravaging Blaze deals X damage, basically the amount of mana you pay outside of your 2 reds to target creature. And then with Spell Mastery, again, if you control 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it also deals X damage to the target player as well. So again, just really good because you can destroy a target creature and then also deal damage to them as well. Then for the final card, we have the 1 Prism Rain. This one is an artifact. And as Prism Rain enters the battlefield, you choose the color, and whenever you cast a spell of the chosen color, you gain 1 life. And it only costs just 1 of any mana. So it's really good against, say, the mirror match that's just looking to be aggressive and just burn you for a bunch of damage to where you're not losing to them as quickly because you're able to gain life off of all the spells that you cast. So that is it for the deck profile on my Magic the Gathering mono red deck, which I said is for standard. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to get in some more Magic the Gathering videos from other people, and then if I get more into the game, any other decks that I do acquire. But also subscribe as well for all the Yu-Gi-Oh videos that I do. I should be getting some videos and either today or tomorrow for my sneak peek at my local card shop, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.